Good day everyone, we are Group 10 and we are here to discuss the topic about the general type of debtor. And to start with the discussion, here's Jen Kaila.
So here is one of the kinds of debtor, up-to-date or mas kilala bilang current debtor. Current debt includes the formal borrowing of a company outside of accounts payable. This appears on the balance sheet as an obligation that must be paid off within a year's time. Thus, current debt is classified as a current liability. So halimbawa po, kung ikaw ay isang current debtor or up-to-date debtor, ibig sabihin lang po is you only have 1 year para mabayaran or makumpleto yung payment na inutang mo. Usually po, kapag si company po yung nagiging current debtor, kinaklasify po nila ito as notes payable since it is repairs to cash that being borrowed.
Good day. I'm Trixie Paraiso and I'm going to discuss occasional delinquency or monkey type. So dito, ito yung mga employees, business owner, or vendors na walang malaking income or yung income nila is enough lang para makater yung expenses and payment nila sa mga utang nila. So meaning, kapag na-late yung sahod or tumumal yung benta, may possibility na ma-delayed sila sa pagbabayad ng utang.
Habitual delinquent or lizard. So let's first define what is the meaning of delinquent. So delinquency in the type of debtor is commonly used to describe a situation in which a borrower misses their due date for a single scheduled payment for a form of financing like student's loan, mortgage, credit card balances, or automobile loans, as well as unsecured personal loans. There are consequences or fee for delinquency depending on the type of loan, the duration, and the cause of the delinquency. A borrower who doesn't pay for its debt does not belong to the definition of delinquent. They called it default. A loan goes into default when a borrower fails to repay their loan as scheduled in the terms of their promissory note. Usually, this involves missing several payments over a period. In most cases, delinquency can be remedied by simply paying the overdue amount plus any fees or charges resulting from the delinquency. Normal payments can begin immediately afterward. On the other hand, habituality is defined as a thing that a person constantly does. Habitual delinquent means a person who has a habit or repeatedly practices to pay debt late on its due date. This type of debtor is one of the target of strict collection because it can be a loss for a financial institution. Being a habitual delinquent debtor can affect a person's credit score.
Good day, I am Rodora L. Flores. A debt becomes delinquent when payment is not made by the due date or the end of the grace period as established in a loan or repayment agreement in the case of a debt being paid in installments. The date of delinquency is the payment due date. Example, borrower's loan payment is due January 1. The loan agreement allows a grace period of 15 days, meaning that the lending agency will not assess late charges or declare the loan delinquent if the payment due on January 1 is made before January 16. If the borrower makes him or her payment before January 16, the loan is not delinquent. However, if borrower fails to make a payment by January 16, then the loan is delinquent and the date of delinquency is January 1, the payment due date.
The changed circumstance, a chameleon type of debtor. This kind of debtor who for health, social, economic, or political reasons, by law, contract, accident, fortuitous event, suddenly cannot pay his obligation. Yung changed circumstance type of debtor daw o ay tinatawag ding chameleon type. na ang chameleon sa Tagalog ay hunyango o iyong reptile na may kakayahang mag-adapt sa mga bagay sa paligid niya. And gaya nga ng sabi sa explanation, dahil sa certain reasons like health, social, and etc., hindi makakapagbayad ng debt itong si change circumstance. In short, nag-a-adapt siya sa mga nangyayari sa buhay niya o sa paligid niya to be exempted sa kanyang utang. However, he did so by complying with the law. Legal po ang paggawa niya nito. Examples ng mga events na acceptable to be under the change circumstance are natural occurrences such as storms, earthquakes, or act of man such as wars, governmental prohibitions, and robbery.
Hello everyone! Today, I'm going to discuss the premeditated delinquent debtors or crocodile-type debtor. The premeditated delinquent debtors or crocodile-type debtor is a debtor who should be avoided and noticed in the first place. They are the aggressive or offensive debtors, one who has no intention of paying the debt from the start. A crocodile-type debtor planned to be behind on their financial obligations, such as loan, credit card, or bond payments. This occurs when a borrower fails to make timely payment to fulfill their debts and has no intention of paying from the beginning of the loan relationship. Individuals or businesses might be considered delinquent entities if the arrears are not paid. Financial delinquency generally leads to default. The phrase can also be used to denote a financial professional's failure to fulfill an obligation. That's all. Thank you.
So, this is the continuation of premeditated delinquent debtor or crocodile type of debtor. As she has said, this is the kind of debtor na dapat i-avoid at dapat ma-notice agad-agad. Bakit? Kasi ito yung mga nangungutang na walang intensyon na bayaran ka. For example, ito yung mga taong silang-sirada yung credit history nila kasi almost lahat ng inutangan nila is nireklamo sila dahil hindi sila nagbabayad ng utang. They are literal na buwaya. Kasi they tend to ask for a loan, pero pag sinisingin mo na sila, mas galit pa sila sa'yo. They tend to threaten you, curse you kasi sinisingin mo sila. And that's a simple example of premeditated delinquent debtor.
Let's now talk about the last topic included in this presentation, which is the kind of delinquent debtor. But first, ano nga ba muna ang debtor na ito? Delinquent debtor is a borrower who hasn't paid on time. Meaning, as soon as na-miss ng borrower na magbayad ng loan upon the agreed time with the lender, he is already considered as one. There are 12 kinds of delinquent debtor. The first one is the negligent. This kind of delinquent debtor does not bother about due dates of his debts. Even if aware na ang borrower na ito na malapit na ang bayaran ng specific loan niya, wala pa rin siyang pakialam at hindi nagkukusang magbayad sa kanyang lender. Next is the honest but confused. Ito naman yung mga borrowers na hindi naintindihan in the first place yung terms and conditions of the debt as well as the obligations that they have to fulfill, which specifically became the main reason why they haven't paid the loans on time. Third is that they can't be bothered. Ito naman yung mga borrowers na hindi nagbabayad ng small balance of their debts not until it adds up to substantial amount. So, as long as kaya pa naman or hindi pa naman mabigat sa bulsa yung utang nila, pinipili nilang ipunin mo na ito lahat hanggang sa lumaki bago sila magbayad. The fourth kind of delinquent debtor is seasonal delinquent, which falls behind in paying debts because his business slows down at certain period of the year. Ito naman yung mga borrower na hindi nakakapagbayad ng utang dahil hindi consistent ang profit na pumapasok sa business niya or kaya naman ay masyadong tight ang funds on specific period of time. The fourth kind of delinquent debtor is seasonal delinquent, which falls behind in paying debts because his business slows down at certain period of the year. Ito naman yung mga borrower na hindi nakakapagbayad ng utang dahil hindi consistent ang profit na pumapasok sa business niya or kaya naman ay masyadong tight ang funds on specific period of time. Next naman is the honest late payer. Sila naman yung mga borrowers na late nagbabayad ng debts dahil late din nagbabayad ng utang ang kanilang mga debtors. Mas nag-uudyok ang sitwasyon na ito to do the same thing kahit na obligasyon at nakasaad naman sa agreement ang pagbabayad ng utang sa takdang oras. The next kind of delinquent debtor is the chronically slow. This debtor make all creditors wait until they give more liberal payment terms. Meaning, hindi sila nagbabayad ng debts nila on purpose para mas maging maluwag yung terms and conditions nila with their lender, which will give them more benefits to pay for a longer period of time than the usual. The other kinds of delinquent debtor will be discussed by Janina.
The next kind of delinquent debtor is the waiting late. This kind of debtor are fully aware na late na, past due na yung inutang, so intentional na ginawa ng borrower yon for some reason. Alam nila sa sarili nila na kailangan nila magbayad sa araw na yon or late na talaga pero di pa rin sila nagbayad sa kanilang lender. And the next is the stretcher debtor. This is the one who is temporarily overextended or intentionally delays paying. Ito yung mga promisers na borrower. Nangangako na babayaran nila yung lender pero laging na-extend yung due date ng bayaran. Sasabihin nila sa lender na babayaran nila sa katapusan o sa ganitong araw. Lahat ng reasons and promises ginawa na nila sa kanilang lender pero pagbabayad hindi. Next is the habitual debtor. One who insists na mangutang ng mangutang kahit na hindi pa sila nakakabayad sa lender. Ito yung mga best actress na borrowers. Mga kako na magbabayad ng ganong araw tapos dadagdagan pa ulit nila yung inutang nila dahil bibigyan nila ng rason yung lender kung para saan nila gagamitin para mga paawa effect sila ganun para lang pautangin sila ulit. And the next kind is the tightrope walker. One who is usually on the verge of crisis. Sila yung mga baon sa utang because of some reason na hindi sila makabayad sa lender and sometimes para makabayad sila, ang ginagawa nila is uutang din nila yung pambayad nila. Hanggang sa ganun na lang yung nagiging process na hindi na sila nakakaahon sa utang. The next is the boggart debtor. Sila yung mga debtor na mayayabang pag sinisingil, galit. Yayabangan ka ng kung ano-ano, mahilig mag-show off, magpakita ng looks, status, material possession, tipong mga tao na gastos ng gastos, kala mo di maubusan ng kayamanan, pero maraming utang, and pag singilan na, ang hirap singilin. Sabi nga, di ba, kung sino pa yung may utang, siya pang may ganang magalit at magyabang. And the last kind of delinquent debtor is the vanishing debtor. One who is not around when paying on time but always around when borrowing. Ito yung mga disappearing debtor. Yung mga borrower na pag kailangan ng pera, ang bilis, andyan sila. Pero pag bayaran na o singilan na ng mga nagtatago, bigla na lang nawawala. Yan yung mga debtor na malalakas mangutang pero pagdating ng bayaran, parang mga ipis na sila sa basurahan. Pag inaangat mo, nagtatakbuhan o nagtatago na. In short, yan yung mga wanted. Pag pupuntahan ng lender sa bahay nila, laging wala. Di mo matsyempuhan. Mga TNT ba? Tago ng tago. Ganon. So, those are the 12 kinds of delinquent debtor. The negligent, heinous but confused, they cannot be bothered, seasonal delinquent, honest late payer, chronically slow, wittingly late, the stretcher, habitual discounter, the tightrope walker, the braggart, and the vanishing debtor. And that's end our group discussion. Thank you.